Okay guys, I'm going to give you a quick review on the AK-74 receiver that Werks is manufacturing, and they're selling it. I purchased these through Classic Firearms. It's November 2014, and the receiver cost me $50, $49.99 plus shipping and your FFL fees. Really comes in a almost like a cold blue finish, which is nice. The Nodak spuds have no finish on them, so they got a lot of machinist oil on there so they don't rust. Some of the good points, some of the bad points. I'll try and give you all of the bad first, and then we'll go to the good. Bad is it's only relieved for a single hook trigger, so if you're going to use a double hook trigger, which I just had one laying around, so I dropped it in there so you could see, it's only got one relief, so single hook only on the trigger. The rear trunnion rivet hole locations are too far rearward, and by too far rearward, this is a Werks receiver on a completed rifle. You're going to have a gap between your buttstock and your receiver. Now, I mean, there's ways of bypassing that, but it is going to require a lot of work to try to get your buttstock further forward and tight to the receiver. So you're going to have a receiver gap if you use their hole locations. The front trunnion holes are actually in the right location, but the front of the receiver, if you can see this, is actually out of square. You see what I mean? It's sticking out too far on the bottom. So in order to get a good fit on the front, you're actually going to have to sand the front of that receiver, grind, sand, whatever you got to do, flush with the front of the trunnion. Get a little pointer here. Okay. This material right here is a little bit too much. See, the front of the trunnion is right there. This camera zoom right. Some light. Okay, yeah. You see it right here. So that's another bad. The trigger guard, I saw somebody commented on the Classic Firearms site and said that the trigger guard holes were wrong. They're actually not. Any mag you want to use actually locks up really well, and you don't get really any wobble at all. So it depends on what mag they're using, but I mean, I've used Circle 10, Circle 21, Bakelights, anything you want. They all fit good. The Selector hole is really, it's indented, dimpled there. You actually, on the Selector level, this hole is smaller than the Selector lever itself. So that's, you're going to have to either open this hole up or take down your Selector lever, which I'm going to alter the lever instead of the receiver. You see the holes are kind of, the trigger pin hole has got a little bit of a teardrop at the bottom of it. Try and zoom, maybe we can get it in there better. Hard to get close-ups with a cell phone. So that's a bad. Also, the bad is they've drilled out the scope rail already, and if you're not going to put a scope rail on, you're going to have to weld up holes or leave them, and obviously I've chose to leave them. That's kind of a minus. Oh, the width concern. Okay, so the rails themselves are actually too wide for your carrier. They'll work, but it's loose side to side. You get a little bit of wobble. So in order to correct this, the only way possible without making a new receiver or welding on your carrier is going to be to replace this center support rivet and try and squeeze the receiver in. And what I did was, there's the center support rivet from this receiver, and what happened is, see how I've got a different, I've actually got a Tapco center support rivet in there right now, and I actually took it down a little bit so I could tighten up my rail. Again, these are all things that you can do to the receiver. Is it a good deal at $50? Yes, it is. It's a really good deal, but I'm showing you all the problem areas, so hopefully it'll save you a little bit of time on what you run into. But overall, I'm happy with the product, and I'm honestly extremely happy with Classic Firearms. They're a really good company to deal with. They let me know when my package shipped. They let me know when it arrived at the FFL. Constant email updates on everything. The shipping was actually really fast. I've dealt with J&G sales before, and their shipping is not fast, and they don't give you updates. And if you call them, you know, we'll get it out when we can. That kind of scenario. So Centerfire Systems, another one. The shipping's a little bit off on, and customer service a little bit off. But I'll tell you another good company that I've dealt with is Copes Distributing. They've got a lot of times free shipping, and it's pretty fast, and they're good people to deal with. But extremely happy with Classic Firearms, and I'll definitely be doing business with them again. But I thought I'd give you a quick rundown of their receiver so you could see what exactly you're dealing with. But good luck. Put them together. It's a lot of fun.